Good morning. It's April 4th, Tuesday, and I'm in Atkins, Virginia. The plan was to be in Atkins this morning. I actually arrived yesterday afternoon. It was torrential rain. I was soaked from head to toe. My feet were floating in my boots, and there was no way I was going to dry out today to march the 5 miles into Atkins. It would have been miserable. Also, I did stop at a shelter, which was the plan last night, 5 miles out of Atkins, to overnight, but it was probably one of the worst shelters I've ever seen. No overhang, so there was no rain protection. There was nowhere to cook, no table to sit on. It was a muddy mess, and it was packed to capacity. So I was more than willing to push on the extra 5 miles yesterday to get into Atkins and check into a motel and start drying out, which I did. So that was a bonus night last night, and it felt good. It was worth it. I left Damascus on last Friday. Everything went well there. As I said in the previous video, not much in Damascus at all. Upon leaving, I got onto the Virginia Creeper Trail. There's a portion of the AT that actually joins the Creeper Trail for two reasons. It's convenient to move you from one place to another. It's already an established trail, and a bridge washed out, so there was a posted detour to get on that trail. I didn't know much about it. It's an interesting trail. It looks like a lot of fun for families to take advantage of. It's a very shallow grade because it used to be a train track. They do a lot of biking on it, and there's shuttle services that will start you at the top and then pick you up at the bottom. You can just coast down the whole way and enjoy the scenery. And there's plenty of scenery to be had. Started marching then forward to Mount Rogers. It's the tallest mountain in Virginia. It was something we wanted to get over because of the elevation. I believe it's 5,700 feet. And typically, once you cross that, you can send home your winter gear. You're safe to do so. However, I did get the latest weather this morning, and we're looking at heavy rain Thursday, Friday, and possibly snow Saturday. So it might be premature to send that gear home. But I got to think this is the last burst of the cold weather. So while I'm out hiking along, going from shelter to shelter, I set up camp at one of the shelters. In the evening, a young gentleman came through and was talking. We had some things in common. He was a West Point graduate, and he spent a lot of time in Orange County, New York, as I did. And I've frequented West Point just for the historical gain there, the museums and some other activities there. It's a nice place to go if you're in the area. And he was sharing a story about a classmate of his. They both grew up, I believe, in Stowe, Ohio, and graduated in the West Point class of 2011. The classmate, they were best friends, Eagle Scouts together, and I see that common thread with Eagle Scouts going into the military. When they graduated in 2011, his friend, David Rylander, was assigned to the 10th Mountain Division, Fort Drum, New York, and then deployed to Afghanistan. And he was killed less than a year from when he graduated. It was an IED. Him and another soldier was killed in that. Just 23 years old, sad story. And the gentleman I met, his trail name is Lone Ranger. He's hiking the entire Appalachian Trail alone, and he has a rock with him engraved with David's initials. The rock weighs 5 pounds, but he said that one of David's childhood ambitions was to hike the Appalachian Trail. So he just went from active duty to inactive ready reserve, and he's officially a civilian now and has the time to do it, and he's doing that, and he shared it with David's parents that he's doing it. So he's carrying this 5-pound rock 2,100 miles, and he'll pass that on to the family after he completes the trip. If the family haven't done enough already with having to bury their son right out of West Point, David had a brother, Daniel, who is currently in West Point, and following the same path as his brother. The family is very patriotic, and I was told that David himself was a very religious man. And at West Point, he was the one that rang the chapel bells every morning and every evening. So he had great faith, and it's a shame that that had to happen at such a young age. I have that interview with Lone Ranger, and I think you'll find it interesting. We continued on to Mount Rogers the next day. Weather turned pretty sour. It got very cold to the point it was freezing. Met a lot of people because it was a weekend. High schoolers, probably a group of 15, and it's great to be young because some of these people were wearing shorts and sandals. I couldn't believe it, and they weren't complaining either. But I thought I was cold, and I had the right gear, and these guys just come trouncing out of the woods, and they were okay with it. But that's youth. So also came across a local man and his son. He was 73. The gentleman knows these hills like the back of his hand, and he was giving us all kinds of tips. He has cancer. He didn't say what kind, and made the decision not to treat it. He said he's happy with the life he had, and he's just doing trail miles with his son. And they also picked up a dog at a shelter. And apparently no one could deal with this dog, but he was attached to it from the minute he saw it and took it on. I believe the dog's name is Max. It's a nice dog too. He said he primarily got it to keep the dog at camp and keep the bears away, but interesting individual, and he gave us a lot of local information about the terrain and what we can expect ahead, so it was nice talking with him. Then we moved on to the Grayson Highlands. It's a state park, Grayson Highlands State Park, where ponies roam wild, and it's a whole different terrain. Interesting to see. I'm sure you'll find that it is in the photos. And the ponies just roam all over. They're completely used to people. They don't run. Sometimes they'll approach you, sometimes they won't. I'm told if you have food, not only will they approach you, but they won't leave you alone. We camped one night in a shelter in the Grayson Highlands Park, and we're told to do the same thing with your food, hang it in a tree, only now it's to keep it away from the horses, because they'll come through at night and just rip the food bags open. They've been used to doing that, so we had no problem. So then we moved on yesterday morning through a shelter, which has to be the finest shelter I've ever seen. It's called a partnership shelter. It's beautifully built. It has showers built in, and a bathroom, clotheslines to dry your gear, and it also has menus on the wall inside where you can order food out. They'll deliver right to the shelter. It's 2/10 of a mile off the trail. Now, most shelters are at the top of a mountain or the bottom of a ravine, and I think they're deliberately put there so that you don't have local kids partying in these places. They make it so difficult to get there that the only people that would really go to these shelters are thru hikers who are already out in those conditions on that trail. But it wouldn't be worth a local to expend all that physical effort to go to one of these shelters to have a party. This particular shelter, though, is 2/10 of a mile off, and it was no surprise that it's probably 1,000 yards from the Forest Service Visitor Center for Mount Rogers. So it's carefully watched and policed, and that's probably why it's put where it's put, and very nicely done. I'm sure you'll agree on that. Yesterday, when the decision was made to move on the extra 5 miles into Atkins, I came across a Schoolhouse, and this is very popular on the AT. I knew it was in Virginia, but I didn't think it was this far south. And it's the Linda Mood School, which was built in 1894, and it's the Schoolhouse is open to thru hikers. You can just go in, and it was heavy rain, and it was halfway between Atkins and the shelter we decided to leave. So went inside the schoolhouse, and it was like going back in time. I have photos and videos on it, and it's quite a place. Another thing that was done at the at the schoolhouse, was the United Methodist Church of, I think it's Whiteville, Virginia. They had a huge stock of trail magic, soda, crackers, food items, resupply items, things that a thru hiker would need. And that was a very nice surprise. Didn't expect it. It was a miserable day, and something like that, where you don't expect it and it's there, it lifts your spirits. And as I said, we went in to look at the schoolhouse and get out of the heavy rain for a few minutes. But to have that there, it picks up your spirit. And we see this all the time in different forms, even if it's just a gallon of water at the base of a tree. Typically, people you don't know, that just an act of kindness, leaving food or stuff like that out for you, or offering you a ride. This is the kind of stuff that gets you moving on and pushing on, and it's nice to see. And many of the people that do this, you don't even see them, so it's not possible to thank them, but it means a lot. And yesterday that was quite a surprise, and I did comment, as you'll see in the video, that it costs money to do this. There was a cooler full of sodas with fresh ice in there, so somebody must be maintaining that box at least daily or every other day, and that comes out of church funds, and that's money that surely could go elsewhere, but they decided to do this, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure the rest of the hikers do. Next push will be for Bland, Virginia, then Petersburg, Virginia. The weather forecast we got for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday looks like rain to snow. So we're going to try to get into Bland before it gets really nasty. We'll probably hike one day in the rains and just accept it, knowing we're coming in to get dried out, and then plan accordingly to go to Petersburg. That's all I have now. We'll go to the video. Take care, and I'll see you probably another week. So long. We've had heavy rains last night. The creeks are really swollen, and just a lot of water, encountering a lot of water today. The Appalachian Trail joins the Virginia Creeper Trail, so we're going over a trestle. This used to be a train trestle, and they just decked it, and I believe many bike trips start in Damascus. It's a slight shallow grade. You pick up your bikes in Damascus, and you kind of coast down the Creeper Trail. It's very smooth, and you know, it's accepting of bikes, so there's no issue there. Very wide too. And when you get to the end of it, the place you rented the bikes, they pick you up in a van and trailer. They trailer the bikes back. So it looks like a fun couple of days if you wanted to just go bike camping without killing yourself. Stop anywhere along the creek you like, fishing, tenting, very nice. So, and to get to walk on it for a while, also nice for me, because it's smooth, and typically the Appalachian Trail is anything but. So rain stopped about an hour ago. It was off and on all morning. Not a terrible day. Temperatures are pretty good. We do understand it's supposed to get cooler though next week. Anyway, so far Virginia's nice. Okay, we're at Lost Mountain Shelter for the night, and just setting up our sleeping bags, and a hiker just came in through hiking, and we're chatting, a West Point grad, and oh, he's familiar with Orange County, New York, and I spent a lot of time there as well, and he was telling me that he's carrying this rock from a classmate at West Point that graduated with him in 2011, but was killed Afghanistan?
Yep, Afghanistan.
Afghanistan in 2012 from a IED.
Yep, that's correct.
And what was his name?
So his name's David Rylander. He's from Stowe, Ohio. He and I were, like you said, West Point classmates. And then he was killed in May of 2012, so less than a year after we both graduated from West Point. Dave was, a man of faith, man of God. He rang the. If you ever seen the pictures of West Point, if you're sitting on the plane where we marched or whatnot, if you look above Washington Hall, you'd see the cadet chapel, big beautiful Gothic chapel.
I'm familiar with the chapel there.
Yeah, he actually rang the bells up in there twice a day, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
So when I would be studying at night, I'd hear Dave ringing the bells up in the chapel. He became an engineer officer, just like I guess your daughter was, in a Safford unit too. He was killed along with one other soldier in May 2012. So he's originally from Stowe, Ohio. He's an Eagle Scout like me, so we met in a mutual club supporting Boy Scouts at West Point, and we became friends through that club. And when I talked to his mom right before starting the trail, I learned that hiking the Appalachian Trail was actually one of Dave's goals in life. So at this point, we're doing it together, and I hope to get this done to his parents after we get to Maine.
And it's ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. I asked what this stone weighs, and it's 5 pounds. That's amazing that that you're carrying that 2,100 miles. I can't get over that. And the family's aware of this?
They are, yeah.
So at the end of the trip, you'll present this to them as a memento?
Yep.
That's very nice.
Yes, definitely.
Now, a lot of people would like to hear that story. And we'll share it on YouTube on the channel next week.
Cool.
So
yeah, great.
I enjoyed talking with you, and good luck on your journey. We may bump into you again. How many miles are you doing a day?
Around 20 average at this point.
Then you'll be blowing by myself, but I may catch up on if you have a 0 day or something.
Well,
but
definitely, it'd be great to see you again.
All right, thanks for talking with me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moving towards Rogers Mountain, tallest mountain in Virginia. It's in southern Virginia. It's below freezing. The winds are roaring. My glasses are froze. But the significance of this mountain, I think it's 5,700 feet, but the significance is getting over it, because typically once you cross Rogers Mountain, you can send home your winter gear and shed a couple of pounds. I already shed some of it in Damascus, but it'll just be nice to get over this one. And then we'll be going to lower altitudes, and the next time we see high stuff, it'll be late May, June up in New England. So that'll be nice. What a neat forest. Southern Virginia. Welcome to Elk Garden. We're still on our way up to Mount Rogers. This is just a parking area, trailhead, and someone left some trail magic, a box of, I think, honey buns, which is pretty good. So Alex is going across the street. They're right at the man gate for the Appalachian Trail to continue up to Mount Rogers. He's going to bring them over. We'll take a break. As you can see, incredibly foggy day. The temperature's not too bad. We crossed one bald. It was below freezing and incredibly windy, but it's pivotal to get over Mount Rogers. It's the point at which you can expect not to encounter winter conditions anymore and send home your winter gear and lighten the load a little. Yeah, it was there? Oh my gosh. I heard a car. Oh, this is, oh, and it's healthy too because it's in plastic, so it must be. This is great. All right, so we're gonna have a snack here and continue. Checking out. The temperature's dropping. It's close to freezing now, and we were cold until we saw this high school group wearing shorts and sandals. So, where are you guys off to? Damascus?
We're heading back down to Damascus.
Way to go.
How about you guys? Going to Damascus up?
We're going to Katahdin.
Oh, you really?
Yeah,
How long you been on?
February 16th.
Good for you, man. Way to go.
So, but I'll tell you what, I was cold until I saw these guys in shorts, and now,
It's not gonna
yeah, stay warm. Tonight's the coldest night of the week.
Yeah, I'm glad we're coming down off the top.
Yeah,
Real windy up there.
I'm glad we're going over the top and getting
How far are you heading today?
after Grayson Highlands,
Yeah,
there's a
you're down a little
shelter.
bit, yeah.
So,
It's so pretty up there. Enjoy that. This is probably the best section of the AT I've seen yet. I've done all of Georgia, most of North Carolina, now this. This has been beautiful.
wow,
You're gonna love this.
that sounds great.
Yeah, horses coming in. Horse bag your food instead of bear bagging it. We had one bag taken last night.
Really? Wow.
Ran off with it.
Are you just horsing around, or are they
Not
really?
even, man. Come
Okay.
on. Straight from the horse's
Ba-dum
mouth
bum.
right here, man.
Okay. Take care. Enjoy. Stay warm.
There's trail magic by the door right there.
We had some honey buns. Thank you.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thanks. Take care. Some more hikers and another Appalachian Trail dog who is a little excited, but maybe
This
you could,
gentleman right here is a pound dog.
a pound dog?
He was, we took him out of a habitat, you know, what do you call, where they take him in for, what do you call them? No, where these people take, they don't kill them there, they just take them
Oh, a no-kill
to a
shelter.
kill shelter. He's have a no-kill shelter.
And it looks like a
People
great
turned
dog.
him in, he's 2 years old, going on 3. They turned him in and said he was non-leashable.
Huh.
And we've walked him about 100 miles on this trail.
Well,
And he's
that'll make anyone.
one of these people, but he's got him where he's working. He's just literally perfect.
No,
And he's not a mean dog.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't trust him, you know, just anybody, because you know what
Sure.
he's gonna do like that. That nature, that sharp pace, you got a
Yeah.
mean nature. Some of them do. So, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you why we've got it.
beautiful.
I've got cancer and I'm trying to stay alive.
Uh-huh.
And just the smell of this dog in the yip once in a while, a bear will not come around.
Wow.
Because bears are scared to death of dogs in this part of the country because they have bear season in the national forest.
Wow.
They're scared to death of dogs.
Didn't know
They
that.
use it to hunt, get big plots to hunt them with.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not afraid to put my tent down anywhere but cut with a dog. I wouldn't want a little chihuahua now. But I thought something big enough, you know, to bark. That's the reason we're training him, just to go with us. And we do decide to go, you know, on some long trips. And
Beautiful dog. What's his name, Max?
Max.
Max.
Yeah, nice dog.
And
Okay.
we are you hiking together?
Yes.
And we're from. I was telling him we're from this area locally, Appalachian State University.
Uh-huh.
We're not too far from West Jefferson and Boone and that area there. So we're just across the border over here.
Wow.
And we could go to Rome Mountain or all this area. I was telling him about an hour. So
Beautiful area.
I have cancer, and I have cancer pretty bad. And I'm out here just trying to live a little longer. And so
And enjoy.
I walk it off a little. So
That's good.
you want to take a picture of you too?
Sure. We entered the Grayson Highlands State Park, and they put these gates in that horses can't get out, but people can get in and out. And we haven't seen a horse yet, but we're told they're all over the place, and tonight we'll be sheltering in a shelter that's inside the park, and I'm told the same thing you got to watch out for with bears, you got to watch out for with the horses. So as soon as we spot them, I'll let you know. Hello. Wow, that's some serious gear. Grayson Highlands. The fog is making the ponies very elusive. Haven't seen one yet, but still looking. Checking out. I think I'll turn the camera off for this. Just crossed the top bald of the Grayson Highlands, and the weather's starting to clear, and all the mountains ahead, they're mountains, but they're not these towering big ones we've been seeing. They seem to be shallowing out. That's nice. So we'll be hitting them all, checking out. Finally, the elusive Grayson Highland ponies have been spotted. So kids, make your pick of which pony you would like for Christmas, and I'll make sure Santa Claus gets that list. Nice ponies.
Yeah, they are really domestic.
Yeah. Now, we could start a pony riot by pulling an apple out, I'm told. But we don't have any apples, so. They're up higher too.
Yeah, two up here.
Wow. But they're here. It's for real. We thought the whole pony thing was a hoax, like the moon landings. But they're really here. Very docile too.
Yeah.
Wow. Neat. Checking out. It's April 2nd, Sunday morning. Hiking through the Grayson Highlands State Park. Absolutely beautiful through here. Different kind of scenery. It's basically highlands. Some shrubs, things like that, but you can see pretty far. There's wild ponies that just roam throughout here. Very docile and used to people. And that goes for the deer. The deer will walk right in front of you. They don't run away. And it's pretty neat. You could camp anywhere you like. It's different. So, very enjoyable. Yesterday, we came across Mount Rogers. The weather was awful. I actually went below freezing. My glasses froze, and met a lot of people out there that didn't keep them away. But many of the people we spoke to said that when they left their hometowns within an hour's drive, it was almost 70 degrees where they were, and they didn't expect it to be that cold, but it was. Anyway, moving on. Next resupply is Atkins, Virginia, for a quick one overnight, and then I believe it's Peaceburg, Virginia, and bigger city. We'll probably be there 2 days. That's it. I'll show you a little of the scenery, and then I'll check out. Okay, here's that scenery we're talking about. I have been told ticks are a concern. You really got to watch out for ticks. And in part, that's why I've been wearing the long pants. And I noticed several thru hikers with their dogs, including the famous Carly, that they'll have to be probably checked daily for ticks. Haven't seen any yet, but we're told they're all over the place. Okay, checking out. Okay, here's some of the wild ponies. They're just walking around. Don't seem to care that we're here.
Le 2 avril, on vient de tourner les coins, puis on vient de voir des vrais poneys sauvages. Pas comme les 6 autres qui étaient en haut, en train de se faire nourrir. Ceux-là, ils sont vraiment tout seuls. Super beau. Ouais.
Horses are just doing their thing and completely not bothered by us, so we're not bothering them. So, what do you think of those Mets? Yeah. That's a big horse. You know, I'm from Saratoga Springs. We're a horse city, and we're non-discriminating about horses. We'll take big horses, small horses, tall horses, or short horses. So keep it in mind if you're ever in the area. The office is always open. Okay? Checking out. Pretty neat. Checking out. Just came across Partnership Shelter just outside of Marion, Virginia. This is definitely the nicest shelter I've ever seen. And I think it was built in '95. What's unique about this shelter, though, it has showers. And before you go take your shower, you can come inside the shelter and call Pizza Perfect just outside of Marion, and they'll deliver a pizza here. It just keeps getting better. So, very nice. Looks like some hikers came through and started shedding equipment that they didn't want, and just left it for anyone who wants to take it. We come across this quite a bit. Typically the equipment's brand new. It's just too heavy, but they didn't realize that until it was on their back for 100 miles or so. It is Partnership Shelter outside of Marion, Virginia. Wow. Sure be nice if Governor Cuomo built shelters like this in New York. Hint, hint. That's the privy. Yeah, this is definitely moving on up. Very nice. Okay, we're going to have lunch. We're trying to beat some thunderstorms to the shelter we'll be staying at tonight, which is probably another 8 or 9 miles. So, checking out. Linda Mood School, 1894. It's on the trail, open to hikers. Everything's as it was then. Pretty neat. Most of us have never seen this. Oh, and a blackboard. Mrs. Myers, October 7th, 1896. This is pretty neat. Oh, here's some interesting information. Teachers were paid $30 a month. This school closed in 1937. Very neat. I like the potbelly stove. My grandparents had a potbelly stove like this, and they used it to heat the house and cook. When they had a house they bought as a fixer-upper, they put the stove in as part of the construction project, and while my grandfather was working on the house, my grandmother would be cooking up meals for anyone who was helping out. And I was told there's trail magic here, and that's probably not from 1894. Oh my gosh, very nice. It's raining pretty hard out, so we're beating feet 5 extra miles to make it a 20 into Atkins. I didn't realize this school was going to be along the way, but it was absolutely worth checking it out. Pretty neat. So I'm sure it was someone's job to clean the board, and it was someone's job to keep the stove going to heat the room. And there was no insulation back then, so I bet that stove was really cranking. Okay. Well, this was a nice surprise to see. Didn't expect to see it this soon. I wasn't exactly sure where it was. Oh, Oreos from 1894. No.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right, checking out. Just wanted to mention too, the inside the schoolhouse, the West End United Methodist Church left trail magic for the hikers. Quite substantial things you can use. Alex and I just helped ourselves to a soda and some cookies, but that's very nice. That costs money, and that's money that can surely go to other places. So really appreciate that. Thank you for that. Checking out. Just coming into Atkins, Virginia, and I'm guessing this is Amtrak. I could be wrong, but rolling hills and farms. Right now the weather's not nice, but the scenery is beautiful nevertheless. Okay.